This is TTN, the Taebyn Television Network. It's the Totally Taebyn Show, starring Taebyn, everyone's favorite pup. On today's episode, Taebyn looks at math and reads a story.
Hi there, my name is Taebyn. I'm a pup, bark bark, and welcome to Math with Taebyn. Today I just want to go through a few various math ideas and stuff, just for the fun of it. And maybe it'll help you out, maybe not, but we'll just have fun. So, let's start with the idea of arithmetic. And this is where you can count on pauses and add things and find out how many pauses you have. So for example, I have a pause here, and if I want to know how many total pauses I have another pause here, and then I have some on my feetsies too, but we'll just stick with these pauses. And 1 plus 1 is 2. So 2 pauses, mwahaha, and all that Sesame Street stuff. And then you can, like if you had 2 fluffs, and then you had 3 fluffs, you would add them together, and in all you would get 5 fluffs. Okay, so that's a fun little idea. Let's move on to another idea where we can talk about Fratelli diagrams and dimension groups. Fratelli diagrams and dimension groups. So, as you probably already know, a Fratelli diagram is an infinitely unit-directed tree, and it's infinitely long and stuff like that. And then you keep going down, 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 and everything. And then at each level, you can talk about the incidence matrices. These are, of course, the matrices that give you the number of in and out. And then you might know, if you remember from Fratelli diagram theory, there's the operation of telescoping, in which case the matrices multiply to give you the incidence matrices of the resulting telescope Fratelli diagram. So that's pretty cool. And what's even more cool, and this is the really cool part, is that to any Fratelli diagram, you can take all the vertices and form a directed system from them. So you would get, like in this case, you would have Z2, and then you would have Z3, Z3, and then you would have Z3 here again, and so forth. And then you can put the incidence matrices, or the homomorphisms, in between each group in your directed system, and you can look at the inductive limit of this system. The inductive limit, sometimes called the direct limit, which you might know, of this system. Here, I'll just use this as your maps. And if you look at this, this is what's called the dimension group of the Fratelli diagram. Now, what's really cool is that the 2 Fratelli diagrams are homomorphic, or actually even more topologically conjugate. Once you consider the Virchow map on the Fratelli diagrams, is topologically conjugate if and only if the 2 dimension groups are isomorphic as ordered groups. Now that's pretty cool. And then what's even more? To every Fratelli diagram, you can associate a substitution system, and then the substitution systems turn out to be isomorphic if you consider their dimension groups. And this is actually, the dimension groups turn out to be the K-naught groups. So you can talk about K-theories, and then there's, of course, on the other hand, there's the C-star algebras and all that stuff. And then you get the theory about the approximately finite C-star algebras, and via the inductive limits, which are then just a generalization of describing multi-matrix algebra, so it's pretty cool. Anyway, I hope that helped you out, and we'll see you next time on Math with Taebyn. Bark, bark. Hi there. Welcome to Story Time with Taebyn. My name is Taebyn. I'm a pup, bark bark, And today I want to read from this politically correct bedtime stories, and this is the same book I read from the Little Red Riding Hood story. And as I mentioned there, I'm not a political pup, so I'm not really sure what that means, but they're words, so there they are. And today I want to read you The Three Little Pigs. Once there were 3 little pigs who lived together in mutual respect and in harmony with their environment. Good for them. They can respect each other and things. Using materials that were indigenous to the area, they each built a beautiful house. One pig built a house of straw, one house of sticks, and one a house of dung, clay, and creeper vines shaped into bricks and baked in a small kiln. That's very specific. So I guess that's important to this story. When they were finished, the pigs were satisfied with their work and settled back to live in peace and self-determination. These are very industrious little piggies. But their idol, I-D-Y-L-L, is what that word is. I don't know what it means, but there it is. But their idol was soon shattered. So whatever that is, they got shattered. One day, along came a big bad wolf with expansionist ideas. I wonder if it's the same big bad wolf from that Little Red Riding Hood story, the one I did before. Because that would be a naughty wolfie. Although I think in that story he didn't survive. Well, maybe he did the pig thing first and then he did Little Red Riding Hood. Ah, there's an idea. He saw the pigs and grew very hungry in both a physical and an ideological sense. Okay. When the pigs saw the wolf, they ran into the house of straw. The wolf ran up to the house and banged on the door shouting, little pigs, let me in." The pigs shouted back, "Your gunboat tactics hold no fear for pigs defending their homes and culture." That's more specific than "not by the hair of my chinny chin chin." But the wolf wasn't to be denied what he thought was his manifest destiny. Okay, riveting. So he huffed and puffed and blew down the house of straw. The frightened pigs ran to the house of sticks, with the wolf in hot pursuit. Where the house of straw had stood, other wolves bought up the land and started a banana plantation. Let me read that again. I want us to make sure that we understand exactly what's going on here. Okay, so the pigs ran to the house of sticks, and where the house of straw had stood, other wolves bought up the land and started a banana plantation. Oh, the house of straws. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. Okay, so we have bananas now. At the house of sticks, the wolf again banged on the door and shouted, little pigs, let me in." The pigs shouted back, "Go to hell, you carnivorous imperialistic oppressor." Okay, they're not happy with this wolf guy. At this, the wolf chuckled condescendingly. He thought to himself, "They are so childlike in their ways, it will be a shame to see them go, but progress cannot be stopped." So the wolf huffed and puffed and blew down the house of sticks. The pigs ran to the house of bricks, with the wolf close at their heels. So now where the house of sticks had stood, other wolves built a timeshare condo resort complex for vacationing wolves, with each unit a fiberglass reconstruction of the house of sticks. How very artistic. As well as native curio shops, snorkeling, and dolphin shows. This is a very complicated forest they live in. At the house of bricks, the wolf again banged on the door and shouted, little pigs, let me in." This time in response, the pigs sang songs of solidarity and wrote letters of protest to the United Nations. That's what they did. What else are you going to do, right? By now, the wolf was getting angry at the pig's refusal to see the situation from the carnivore's point of view. So he huffed and puffed and huffed and puffed, then grabbed his chest and fell over dead from a massive heart attack brought on from eating too many fatty foods. That would do it. So I think we have a lesson here. The three little pigs rejoiced that justice had triumphed and did a little dance around the corpse of the wolf. That's a little dark of them, but okay. Their next step was to liberate their homeland. They gathered together a band of other pigs who had been forced off their lands. This new brigade of Porcinistas, Porcinistas, so this new brigade of that word attacked the resort complex with machine guns and rocket launchers and slaughtered the cruel wolf oppressors, sending a clear signal to the rest of the hemisphere not to meddle in their internal affairs. Then the pigs set up a modest socialist democracy with free education, universal health care, and affordable housing for everyone. The end. And there's a note here. It says, please note, the wolf in this story was a metaphorical construct. No actual wolves were harmed in the writing of this story. Well, that's good to know. Okay, so that was quite an adventure. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I think we all definitely learned some things there. In particular, there are words that I can't read or pronounce. So, until next time, bark, bark.